So, um, I'm sitting here, I can't sleep is kind of part of the byproducts of the discomforts of having COVID, unfortunately. So, I figured I'd do another video to help instill some more hope in this world. And if you can help just one more from this corn hope dealer, I've done my job. I started with the first video talking about Sudoku and 1,000 paper cranes. And this was based off real life events, a real life girl put into a story that helped inspire millions upon millions of children to believe in one thing or another. Whatever it was, one thing or another, no matter how big, how small. And for a lot of kids and even adults, some of those things are just as big as Sudokus. And I'm going to go to another true to life story. But this one is one that's not written, not published. It is real to life, and it is a woman that I have known and wish I could still know. This woman was taken from my life way too early. I was 16 when this world lost this beautiful angel. This eternity to the next is how I was always taught by her and my dad. So that's heartfelt. And I hope we can help build hope in others. My mom's name was Georgia Reynolds. She is a very beautiful woman. Big, yes, heart of gold, many said. She would look in the mirror and probably not see much of herself. She'd be embarrassed to go into like our school events and whatnot because she'd be afraid kids would make fun of us because of her size. She was 6'3". She was 400 pounds of natural beauty. She worked hard in life. She raised two beautiful children that early in her life she was told she'd never be able to have even just one of us. And she was blessed with two. I'm proud to say my mother lived a legacy. And I get to try to live even an iota of that. And if I'm even a quarter of the woman she was, I succeeded in life. My mother lived a hard life in childhood. She raised her younger brothers and sisters. She was the oldest of the ones in the household. She was the oldest of 8 kids. She had a mother who didn't take care of them. She had a father who didn't take care of them unless she was taking care of his needs that their mother should have been taken care of. And I say it in that way as not to trigger anyone else's traumas. I will not name any other names because there are some of these siblings still living and some of them not, just to protect them and not to defame the names of my departed grandparents, one I met and one I had not. But when you live with addict and alcoholic parents, their judgments are clouded. And when you're the oldest of 8 children and raising 7 others, you do your best to get on. So my mom worked and babysat and cleaned homes and to feed her siblings and took care of them, to hope that Daddy wouldn't come home and find her pay before she went to the grocery. And a lot of times, if it weren't for their uncle, they would have been homeless. He didn't want those kids separated, and that's exactly what had happened. Her mom was out drinking. If her car was broke down, she was sick. So, and being sick from any addiction, it's just withdrawals are hell. And as soon as you can get it back in your system, you're back to being better. Or at least that's what you feel. And I found that out in my own life as well. It's not an easy thing for me to even have to grasp at this time. But I'm proud to say I'm 14 months sober. And we'll keep going. My mother worked hard to raise these kids and help them grow, to help them get as far as she could get them. And she put herself, finished high school and put herself through nursing school. Graduated top marks and worked hard to become the woman she is remembered by her family and friends. She worked 2 and 3 jobs in school and right out of school to help take care of her family. And in '83, she married my dad. My dad was, at the time they married, was an alcoholic. And he had been married 12 prior times. And she did tell him that one time he ever hit her, she would leave and never return. They were married, yes. And the one time he came home and did hit her, and she did leave. And I am blessed to say, for God's grace, that brought her back to him with the ultimatum saying, it is you and our child, but she was pregnant with me, or the alcohol. Made him 1 year sober. At the time I was 10 months old. It takes a lot of things in life to change your ways of thinking. He checked himself into an inpatient at that point in time. He had realized at that point in time he was about ready to lose the best thing in his life again. And he didn't want to. And he changed his life. And she was not going to fall back into the type of family she was raised in. She was building her life for the better. Was ready to raise me on her own. She didn't have to. She worked as a nurse. She actually went into labor with me during a fire drill at work. And 4 years later, she also had my little brother, who is pretty successful himself. I'm proud to say my brother works hard for everything he has. He has children, he's married, and he has to prove himself harder because he was only 12 when Mom passed, and we didn't have it easy after that. We had it even harder. Mom wouldn't have wanted to see us have to struggle, But she also taught us what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Me, I finished high school despite still living with my sister wanting to kick me out as soon as I didn't have an income coming in from Social Security death benefits from my mother. I graduated high school. I had a CNA certificate right out of high school, and within 3 months of graduating high school, my mom had encouraged me to go for the stars. I had gotten into nursing. I was working, and I was doing whatever I could to make my mother proud despite what I was going through. No matter I was dealing with beatings, abuse, nothing I dealt with could stop me. I would make my life better. And I have. Because of what she taught me. Because of this, I have had the honor to learn more of her story. Because of this, I had the honor to work with people not only did she work with, but she encouraged to go beyond. Like, they could have been housekeeping in a nursing home she worked in or a hospital she worked in. And she encouraged them to go back to school. Go for the stars, become a nurse. If you don't think you can go that far just yet, get your CNA and decide if you want to go further. CNAs that were nurses when I worked with them as a CNA. CNAs I worked with that worked with my mother that are now nurses because they were in school when I moved to Idaho. And getting ready to get one step further, got their LPN, getting ready to get their RN and their bachelor's. Her legacy lives further through these people's lives she touched. This is why we gotta keep building hope, regardless of a quarantine, regardless of anything. We gotta be hope builders. We gotta unite and reunite and continue uniting. That's why it's Hope Builders. That's why it's Quarantine Hope Builders Reunited. It started on a legacy built by a woman who said, one day I will make my life so much better than what they think I can be, than what they want to make me because of what they're doing to me. And she proved them wrong. My mother has been known as an angel with a heart of gold. Wears her heart on her sleeve. Will give you the shirt off her back if that's all she has to give. If you need $5, it's yours, because even if it's the last she's got. Your husband had a heart attack in California? Let me make some phone calls. We'll get you there. And she has. I've seen her do amazing things. And the one common factor that I know I have with my mom and everything I've been able to see myself make happen for people is God. The God factor, the prayer factor. If it's hope someone needs, even if it's a silent prayer, the God factor is going. Your God may be different than mine, so therefore I call it higher power in a lot of people's presence. But the God factor. It's hope. Something to believe in. And ultimately, believing in yourself. I hope at the end, when my mom did pass, she saw herself as beautiful as everyone around her that loved her saw her. Because I never could imagine the pain she endured to build herself up. And I went through hell. I don't think I've went through I don't believe I went through as much as she has. kids out there who you're going through all of it, and kids at school that just want to run you down, or you might have something going on at home, or you know your friend's got something going on. Just know that there's someone that cares. Know that there's someone out there that's praying no matter what. That when you think you're at your lowest and alone, you're not. There's someone there, even when there's no one beside you. For adults that went through it all and thinks it will never stop and there's only one way out, that's not the way out. It never is. Think of what and how you want your family to remember you by. How do you want your child to describe you to their children? How do you want your mom to remember you in the end? How do you want to be remembered by your family and friends? You are going to get through. But until then, let someone take the burden. Even if it's just a thought, send it out. I'll take it. I'll take that thought for you. And I'll release it for you. I'll take it one day at a time. It's time to build hope. It's time to take back our peace. It's time to build up our lives together. Even though we may be worlds apart, counties apart, towns apart, even just a few streets apart, we could be 2 rooms apart and can't be together right now. We need to do this together, guys. I'm always here for you. You can DM me on Facebook. Look me up. You got the quarantine hope builders reunited. You can look me up under Jamie Reynolds and DM me if you like. I'll talk to you. I'll get you through anything I could possibly try to help you get through. I can send you directions to places that may be able to help you as well, if you so want. Don't lose hope. Keep your chin up. It may seem like there's no tomorrow, but there is.